Hello, class. So today I am back. We're going to go over the digital history assignment that you will receive weekly. So this is an example of a digital history website. Digital history websites will normally go over some historic event, person, or a place. But because they know that we all have short attention spans due to social media and the internet, of course, they have made history way more accessible through websites which show you so many things, right? And so this website looks at virtual Jamestown. In the second week of class, well, really the first or second lecture, we will go over Jamestown, Virginia, and it being one of the first places in the United States where colonists came and met with indigenous Americans, and just things got crazy there, right? And this is a website that looks at virtual Jamestown. As you can see, this site has resources, court records, labor contracts, public records, envisionings, Jamestown Interactive, Chesapeake Indians, Atlantic Jamestown. I should mention that Jamestown is in Virginia, the Chesapeake, one of the first places that English colonists settled. So what I want you to do is every week when you receive one of these websites, again, this one is virtual Jamestown. Next week will be another one that looks at something we're examining in a lecture. Every week when you receive one of these websites, I want you to go through them. This should not take you, although this is a plethora of information, I don't want you to get caught up in the website for a day. I want you to look at it and answer a couple of questions. So for instance, I may be into the firsthand accounts. We already know that firsthand accounts are what? Primary sources. We talked about that in the last video. So they already tell you what this is about. Letters of firsthand accounts allow us to see 17th century society as no other record can. The rare eyewitness writings place us in the position. So just scrolling through this now, I know that some of these firsthand accounts will talk about how Jamestown looked and what sort of place it was. So let's just say, let's look at this one. The first voyage made to the coast of America, where two captains who discovered part of the country now called Virginia. So this looks at the first sort of explorations into Jamestown, Virginia, right? Another letter, these continue to look at other explorations into Virginia. Let's find another one. Let's go back and see. There was a runaway slave and indentured servant ads. There was second firsthand accounts, judicial cases on Virginia slavery. So all of these things, right? These are eyewitness accounts or resources that we can use to look at Virginia from the primary source perspective, right? We have interpretive essays. Our professor from Virginia looks at the viewpoint of Indians and proposes alternative perspective to the Columbian Exchange. So these are all kind of secondary sources for what is going on in Virginia, or in Jamestown, Virginia. Let's look at some other resources. Public records, newspapers. Remember those? Jamestown Interactive. Let's look at this. This is John Smith's Voyages of Exploration. So view the John Smith Voyages map. I'm just going through the website very quickly and looking at some of these things, right? Oh, I'm missing a plugin. Well, can't look at that. Can't look at that. Let's find another one that I may have the plugin for, right? Technical difficulties. Hold on. Hold, please. Let's just look at maps and images. Original maps. So these are all pictures, right, of John Smith's map of Virginia, what he saw Virginia as. Now, there are so many things you can click on this website. There are at least one, two resources, all of these resources and all of these images that you could answer these questions from. I want you to look at these websites every week and answer me, how is this site relevant to 250 words, which is one page, right? I don't want y'all to get nervous. One page, 250 words is one page, double space. I want you all to look at this and just briefly answer these questions. How is this site relevant to this week's lecture? So if I was lecturing about Jamestown, you could easily say this site is relevant to this week's lecture because it discusses Jamestown, Virginia in detail. We talked about Jamestown, Virginia in class. We talked about indigenous people in Jamestown, Virginia, the English colonists who came to Jamestown, Virginia, and how they looked and how they interacted with one another. Quickly answer it. What kind of sources are on this site? I just answered that for you. We have primary sources and secondary sources along with photographs and maps, right? You could even go a step further and tell me, how are these sources used? Well, primary sources are used to show how labor looked in Jamestown, right? Look at those labor contracts. Or how interpretive essays are used, which are secondary sources, are used to show me what historians say about Jamestown, Virginia. Newspapers are used to show me what exactly was going on in Jamestown, Virginia during when it was colonized. Maps are used to show me how the Virginia landscape has changed over time. How did this site help you better understand this week's chapter? That is a question that you will have to answer yourself, right? I can't answer that for you. So if I was a person that was interested in slavery in Jamestown, Virginia, right? I could say this digital history website gave me insight into what slavery actually looked like. I was able to use the court records to see enslaved Africans who may have sued for their freedom. Those are freedom suits. I was able to look at the amount of runaways in Jamestown, Virginia, right? And that let me know that enslaved people constantly or consistently resisted bondage between 1645 and 1734. And so it is, if you're a person interested in indigenous Americans and their relationship with the British colonists, you can look at those things, right? Or the early colonists, you can look at this website. Help me understand how indigenous Americans saw the early colonists who came to Jamestown, Virginia. So there are so many ways you can answer all three of these questions, but specifically the last one. Again, your paper is 250 words, double space. I will ask that you turn in one of these every week based on the lecture that we are discussing. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Look at me shaking my head. Please, please, please. Do not try to play me and turn in less than 250 words or something like that. Because this assignment is so kind of easy. I don't like to use that term, easy though. I want to be sure that you all are getting the most out of it. Digital history websites are designed to make history accessible. So I hope that it is something you enjoy, and I hope that it's something that you'll be able to see history in a lot of different ways, right? Some of the websites will be way more interactive than this. Some of them won't be so interactive. And you will kind of see that as we move along in the weeks. So this is the digital history assignment. I hope that it has been helpful to you. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. You will receive this assignment every week. I will normally post a digital history website on Monday, and your 250 word response will be due on Sunday. We're a little off the very first week, but we will get on track. So don't worry about that. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.